We're finally back with another progress update on Pokemon Ruby 2's development. This time we got a new title screen update, more map edits for the Hoenn region, and some awesome custom music. I still plan on finishing Ruby 2 by the end of the year, but I also don't want to spoil too much of what's in the game, so stay tuned for the end of the video for a special announcement on future content for the YouTube channel. Thanks as always to the following YouTube channel members for making this video possible. Channel members can get early access to new uploads and some custom emojis for the comments and upcoming live streams. Joining at the link below will help support the King Crady YouTube channel. Alright, let's get right to the new content of Pokemon Ruby 2, starting with a new title screen update. For reference, here's Pokemon Ruby's original title screen. The nostalgia is real with this one. Then, here's the title screen of what I made earlier this year. As you can see, I made the custom logo, added a darker background, but initially planned on keeping the same Groudon silhouette. But as I've been polishing the game up a bit more during its development, I decided I wanted to create a bigger change for the title screen. Alright, here it is everyone, I hope you like it. Of course, it's all subject to change before the final release, but I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I'll quickly go over how I made it. This Groudon silhouette was sourced from this Pokemon card from an older set, EX Hidden Legends. To make this image, I cropped the picture from the rest of the card, then sent it through an AI upscaler. Then, in Photoshop, I was able to separate the black pattern on Groudon's body while turning the rest of it into a shade of black. Then, to keep the nostalgia of the original Pokemon Ruby, I went with making the pattern blue, just like Groudon had in the OG title screen. Then, in Photoshop, it was downscaled to fit the GBA screen. After fixing up some of the pixels in Hexmaniac Advance's built-in image editor, I then added a glowing eye effect to make Groudon look a bit more menacing. The volcanoes in the background were actually very simple. I asked ChatGPT to create a pixelated volcanoes with a blank background, sent this image into Photoshop, blacked out the volcanoes, and downscaled it once again to fit the small resolution of the GBA screen. And there we go! I used a combination of an upscale program, Photoshop, Microsoft Paint, ChatGPT, and finally Hexmaniac Advance to make this all work together. I even made an alternate version with a red pattern on Groudon instead of the blue, but I think the blue fits as it's a throwback to the original game while adding more contrast to the red background. But you guys go ahead and let me know in the comments which one you like better. It would be great to have the pattern glowing blue on the Groudon, but I'm not exactly sure on how to properly implement this feature using Hexmaniac Advance. But if any of you understand more than me how to make this work, then please reach out to me on the Crady Kingdom Discord server. Next is updates to the Hoenn region. I finally got around to working on Moss Deep City, and this one was really fun to work on. Since Groudon disrupted the natural terrain of Hoenn, the sea levels have changed a lot, and it's more rocky than before. This has caused underwater trenches and coral reefs to be unearthed to the surface, and Moss Deep City is a prime example of that change. When you reach the island, you'll realize there's no immediate way to enter the city with it being surrounded by rocks, so the only way is to dive underwater. This small underwater passage connects different areas of Moss Deep City, separating parts of the town. Some of the coral that was unearthed has been scattered throughout the city, and the people have adapted to the change by decorating their houses with it. I think this is just a fun little touch, and it spices up the city a bit more. Now, if you guys remember other videos featuring Lily Cove City, you'll know the city has become run down and heavily abandoned due to the expansion of the land, making its seaside attraction and industry disappear. Well, the Lily Cove department store is still here, but it has shut down many years ago, making it a dark, crumbling tower. The place has been overtaken by wild Pokemon, including some ghost and dark types, inspired by the abandoned store in the Alola region. Now I'm still working on Mount Pyre, but the grass at its peak has mostly burned down, with it mostly being covered in dirt. At the very top you're going to see a small Team Magma base, and this is where they are testing their new technology that allows them to track Groudon's underground movements. When entering Mount Pyre, this is where you'll either battle Team Aqua or Team Magma depending on which side you allied yourself with during the conflict in the sewer system. Another quick thing I almost forgot when making this ROM hack is Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire's Meteor Falls looks a lot different from the one in Emerald. So I changed it back to that bright gold color to have it more in line with Ruby, and for some reason this version holds a bit more nostalgia for me. Perhaps because so many of us have been used to playing Emerald over the original Ruby and Sapphire. I know I've talked about live streaming some Ruby 2 development in the past, and I still plan on doing some of that soon. And I'd like to go into mapping the Safari Zone live with you guys watching, so you can see how I go about developing new maps. Stay tuned for that. Finally, the last main thing I've been working on is some new music for Pokemon Ruby 2. After some of you in the community have stepped up and helped me insert new tracks, I decided to give it a shot at inserting some of my own tracks. Some of them aren't perfect, but I'd like to show off the new Gym Leader battle theme. That's right, the Gym Leader battle theme is now Zinnia's battle theme from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. This is an awesome track that was present in the Hoenn remakes, and I think it serves well as a boss theme here. I've also been working on this Pokemon Coliseum battle music to add into the game. Take a listen. I have a few ideas as to where this music will be used, so you'll just have to wait for the game's release. Also, take a listen to this route theme I added from Pokemon X and Y. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. Again guys, I'm so grateful for your feedback and interest in Pokemon Ruby 2, and I'm still working hard towards its completion. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I have a small announcement to make for the King Crady YouTube channel. After listening to lots of feedback from you guys, I've decided to start up Pokemon binary ROM hacking tutorials once again soon. My OG subscribers know my channel really started growing with the quick YouTube shorts on how to do simple ROM hacking things using Hexmaniac Advance, and now I'd like to get back into making more tutorials. This time, I'd like to make some longer, more in-depth tutorials that go over a little more in detail about mapping, scripting, sprites and graphics, and other topics related to binary ROM hacking. By no means I'd call myself an absolute ROM hacking expert, but I can at least share on how I've accomplished editing the games to add what I want. If you have any suggestions as to what I should make ROM hacking tutorials on, please let me know in the comments. Pokemon Ruby 2 has gotten to the point where I don't want to spoil too much of its new gameplay, features, and story. So, ROM hacking tutorials will provide some great video content for you guys to enjoy on the channel. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.